Can I move it a little bit? Thank you. Tell me if that's still working. And this one I'm moving to. Okay. Okay, good morning. I want to thank you all for attending today. I'm Washoe County District Attorney Chris Hicks, and the first thing I want to do is I want to introduce you to everybody who's standing up here with me today. First and foremost, we have Washoe County School District Superintendent Joe Ernst. We also have Washoe County School District Police Chief Shauna Baker. Likewise, we have Washoe County School Police Officer Megan Lytle and Washoe County School Police Officer, I forgot your name, I'm sorry, Diamond, Officer Diamond. Also, Washoe County District Attorney Chief Investigator Stephanie Schumann and Washoe County Chief Deputy District Attorneys Amos Steggy and Mike Bolenbaker. Reno High has long stood as a defining institution in our community, where generations of students have received not only a quality education, but also the values, the friendships, and school pride that lasts a lifetime. Since its founding in 1912, Reno High has helped shape thousands of lives, fostering a deep sense of tradition through academics, athletics, and enduring school spirit. For many, it is more than a school. It is a symbol of community, legacy, and excellence. But on May 22nd, 2025, that legacy was shaken. What began as a so-called senior prank escalated into a series of acts of vandalism that disrespected the school, its people, and the broader community it serves. Multiple individuals, students and non-students, adults and juveniles, were involved in acts of vandalism, including graffiti, property destruction, both inside the building and throughout its halls. These actions demand serious attention and appropriate accountability. I first want to commend the Washoe County School District Police Department for conducting a thorough and timely investigation. Working alongside prosecutors and investigators from my office, their team ensured that the case was comprehensively documented, appropriately investigated, and prosecution ready when it was submitted to the DA's office. From the outset, we all recognized the importance of decisive action, both for the Reno High community and for the example it sets for the county. To that end, I assigned two of my most experienced prosecutors and my chief investigator to lead our efforts. The investigation, which was completed and submitted to the District Attorney's Office on June 30th, includes approximately 100 pages of reports, 140 video recordings totaling over 30 hours of footage, 9 witness statements, 27 suspect interviews, and extensive video review. My team also spent more than 10 hours conducting walkthroughs of the crime scenes and participating in case reviews with the investigating officers. Today I'm here to outline the next steps in the legal process. In total, 27 individuals were identified to face criminal charges with varying severity. Some are juveniles and will be referred to the Washoe County Department of Juvenile Services. Others will face misdemeanor charges for trespassing, which will proceed through the Reno Justice Court. The most serious part of the case, involving gross misdemeanors, will be prosecuted in the 2nd Judicial District Court. Yesterday, Chief Deputy District Attorneys Bolenbaker and Steggy presented those most serious charges to the Washoe County grand jury. The grand jury returned an indictment against 8 individuals for a total of 15 counts of the damage to property used for educational purposes, a violation of NRS 206.125, and 1 count of willful or wanton disregard for the safety of persons or property, a violation of NRS 202.595. The charges include acts of graffiti, property destruction, and in one instance, lighting a tire on fire and rolling it towards bystanders. Under NRS 206.125, that is the damage to property used for educational purposes statute, it is a gross misdemeanor. It's punishable by up to 364 days in jail and a fine of up to $2,000. The law also requires restitution for any damage that was done, and depending on the number of offenses, mandatory fines and community service varying from 100 hours to 200 hours. The indicted individuals for damage to property used for educational purpose are as follows. Corbin DePape, Korbin-Depaepe, 18 years old, 1 count. Reagan Jasick, REAGAN, JAKSICK, aged 18, 1 count. Devin Maka, DEVYN, MAAKA, aged 18, 2 counts. Wilder May, WYLDER, aged 18, 3 counts. Isabella Russell, ISABELLA, RUSSELL, aged 18, 1 count. Owen Schuff, OWENSHUFF, aged 18, 3 counts. Brady Smith, age 18, 3 counts. And lastly, Aral Unlu, ARALUNLU, aged 18, 1 count for willful or wanton disregard for the safety of persons or property. Yesterday, after the grand jury indictment, the court issued arrest warrants for each defendant with bail amounts set accordingly. The school district police encourages those individuals to voluntarily turn themselves in by contacting the Washoe County School District Police Department. In a moment, I'll turn it over to Chief Baker, who will explain how that can be done. If they do not, law enforcement will actively seek to serve those arrest warrants. Following arrest, an arraignment will be scheduled, and those defendants will be formally advised of the charges, and the criminal proceedings will proceed accordingly from there. Other individuals identified as entering the school but not engaging in acts of vandalism or destruction of property will be cited for misdemeanor trespassing. That is punishable by up to 6 months in jail and or a fine of up to $1,000. Community service may be imposed in lieu of some or all of that sentence. Under Nevada law, law enforcement is required to cite these individuals in lieu of an arrest. Officials with the Washoe County School District Police Department will begin citing those individuals today. They will be cited, those that will be cited for trespassing are Skyla Carithers, SKYLAH CARITHERS, aged 18. Kai Christensen, K-A-I Christensen. Fisher Current, F-I-S-H-E-R-C-U-R-R-E-N-T, aged 18. Amelia Custer, C-U-S-T-E-R, aged 18. Lucas Ford, aged 18. Erica Hooks, aged 18. Sydney Jasick, S-Y-D-N-E-Y, J-A-K-S-I-C-K. Elias Jara, J-A-R-A, aged 18. Bhavisha Patil, B-H-A-V-I-S-H-A-P-A-T-I-L, aged 18. Ariel Perez, A-R-I-E-L, Perez, aged 18. Flavia Rossi, F-L-A-V-I-A-R-O-S-I, aged 18. And lastly, Yoselin Salazar Soto, Y-O-S-E-L-I-N, Salazar Soto, aged 18. Finally, several individuals who trespassed and committed acts of vandalism were juveniles at the time of the offense. These cases will proceed confidentially through the juvenile justice system in compliance with Nevada law. Nevada law is very strict when it comes to juvenile delinquent proceedings, and I am prohibited from disclosing their charges or their names. So that's all you will hear about that. As demonstrated by the steps we've taken so far, this case remains a high priority for my office, for the Washoe County School District Police, and the Washoe County School District. Our goal is to ensure that justice is served fairly and transparently, taking into account all the facts and circumstances of the case. I'm going to now turn the podium over to Superintendent, I'm going to turn it over first to Washoe County School District Police Department Chief Shauna Baker. Please, Chief.
Good morning. Shauna Baker, Chief of Police for Washoe County School District. First, I'd like to start off by thanking Superintendent Ernst for his support throughout this investigation. I also want to thank the District Attorney's Office and his team, Chris Hicks, and their efforts in assisting us throughout this process. To our students, staff, families of Reno High School, and our entire Washoe County School District community, I want to say I really appreciate your patience for everything that you have brought forward to us, the evidence, the social media videos, witness tips, and those types of things. This is a comprehensive investigation. We know that there was a lot of impatience surrounding it, but we wanted to ensure that we were conducting this investigation and bringing it to full justice as the community deserves. We understand that all of you wanted answers very quickly. We felt that urgency too, but there were so many people involved and so many countless hours of video and evidence for us to go through. I want to say thank you to my team and my staff. They've done an incredible job in conducting this investigation. I also want to thank the Reno Police Department, who arrived on scene initially and then provided additional information to us throughout the investigation as they received tips and information for our investigation. And then finally, to anyone who has been involved or indicted in this incident, we want to provide the opportunity to contact the Washoe County School District Police Department up until 5 p.m. today. Our contact information is 775-348-0285. And then if anyone is to turn themselves in over the weekend, they should do so at the Washoe County Jail. And then I'd like to turn it over to Superintendent Ernst.
Before you do, can you spell your first and last name?
Yes, ma'am. Shauna Baker, S-E-A-N-A-B-A-K-E-R.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Good morning. Thanks to all of you for being here today. I too want to start by thanking District Attorney Chris Hicks and his team for their work, for their collaboration, and their partnership surrounding the incident at Reno High School. The investigation was conducted by our Washoe County School District School Police, with Chief Shauna Baker at the helm. We're grateful for Chief Baker's exceptional leadership and the diligent work of our officers throughout the past 7 weeks. I want to recognize specifically the Reno High School administrative team and the fine work that they put forth to be able to be in a position we are today. I want to recognize the students. I want to recognize the staff at Reno High School and the families. As District Attorney Hicks said, this has been a difficult chapter, and I am grateful for the strength and the patience that has been shown throughout. I also want to thank our entire community for your support, knowing that criminal investigations take time and the importance of conducting them in a thorough and a comprehensive manner. Let me be clear as Washoe County School District Superintendent. Vandalism, hate speech, and trespassing has no place in our schools. As a district, our job is to make sure every student feels safe, supported, and respected. And we take that responsibility seriously. We will continue to work closely with our district attorney office and support the Reno High School community as we move forward together. With that, I'd like to turn it back over to District Attorney Hicks.
I would like to just again reiterate the quality work that the Washoe County School District Police did to make sure that this investigation was conducted thoroughly. When you think of a case where you have 27 suspects, it takes a great deal of time to get it right, and that is our goal, and that will continue to be our focus as we move forward. So I echo much of what Superintendent Ernst had to say about the investigation, the Reno High School Administration, and of course the School Police Department. So before I take questions, I have to remind you all of a few of the law and a few ethical obligations that guide the way I can speak about criminal proceedings to the media. Under NRS 172.245, grand jury proceedings are confidential. So what occurred yesterday is confidential. I am prohibited from discussing the evidence presented. However, under NRS 172.225, a transcript of the proceedings will be filed with the court within 10 days and becomes a public record unless sealed by court order. That is up to the court. Some ethical rules. Under Rule 3.8 of the Nevada Rules of Professional Conduct, prosecutors are prohibited from making public statements that could unfairly heighten condemnation of the accused, except when such statements are necessary to inform the public of the nature and scope of the prosecutor's actions and serve a legitimate law enforcement purpose. Similarly, Rule 3.6 of the Nevada Rules of Professional Conduct restricts attorneys from making public statements outside of court that are likely to materially prejudice ongoing proceedings. However, the rules do allow the release of certain types of information, including charges filed, the identity of those charged, the fact and status of the investigation, arrest details, and information already in the public record. Today's statements were made with these ethical rules in mind to inform the public accurately while respecting the rights of the accused and preserving the integrity of the judicial process. So with that, I will take any questions that you may have. Terry.
Why did we go the grand jury route?
You know, the grand jury is beneficial to prosecutions in a lot of different ways, especially cases where you have multiple defendants. It foregoes the justice court process where in that situation, if it were just merely arrest warrant without grand jury indictment, It would require proceedings to go through justice court, preliminary hearings, before we could get it to district court. The benefit of grand jury proceedings in this case, as I said, this case demands decisive action, takes us right to the court that will be presiding over the proceedings.
What's the chance of a plea bargain?
At this time, we're not going to talk about that. We're still evaluating how the cases will move forward.
Why wasn't arson charged?
There was not sufficient evidence to charge arson.
You said that you can't tell me, and I understand the juveniles' names and then how many juveniles?
There were, I believe it's 6.
6 juveniles.
Yes.
Just checking your math, you have 8 that were indicted, 12 that are trespassing, so does that, and you said 27.
So it'd be 7.
7, okay, I'm just.
Thank you.
So, yeah.
That's why I'm a lawyer, not a
So it's-
math
I don't know
teacher.
that,
Seven
I will
juveniles?
check your math.
7 juveniles?
That's
Yes?
correct.
Okay, and you mentioned in your opening statements there were adults, non-students, students, blah, blah, blah. Who are the adults? Are you considering those the 18-year-olds, or were there
Yeah.
like real, like parents and stuff?
No, to be clear, by legal definition, I'm referring to the individuals whose names I've provided to you who are legally adults.
And when you said non-students, does that mean they just didn't go to that school?
There were individuals who did not attend Reno High,
Okay.
and there are individuals who at one time were students at Reno High but were no longer students.
Would you say this is, maybe it's better for police, is this perhaps the biggest criminal case that the Washoe County School District Police Department has undertaken?
I would say, I'll certainly,
In terms of numbers or offenses or however you want to call it?
I would say I've been the district attorney for 11 years. Prior to that, I was a prosecutor, so I've been a prosecutor in this community for 23 years, and I've not seen a case of this breadth in terms of number of defendants and attention drawn by the community in that time frame that I can recall.
And when you talk about the community, because there are several Jillians that went to Reno High or know someone who went to Reno High or know a teacher or whatever, what kind of community, I mean, I know they wanted responses and answers, but what kind of outpouring has there been in this case? Because not that you shouldn't take it seriously, but you're having a press conference about it, you know what I mean?
Of course. As I alluded to at the beginning of my remarks, Reno High is one of the first educational institutions in this community. And as you just pointed out, there are generations of families who have attended that school. There are a great deal of I'm sure people in this room. I know some people in this room. So went to Reno High. So people care about it. People care about their high school. They have a great deal of pride of what they experienced there and the way they conducted themselves while they were there. And so that naturally has sparked a great deal of community interest. And we, all of us standing up here, totally appreciate that. And we appreciate the community's patience. But as I alluded to earlier, a case of this magnitude in terms of evidence, suspects, it takes time. And you want to make sure you get it right. And I'm quite confident standing here before you today that we have started the first steps of getting it right.
Do you want to address the Nazi stuff that was left behind?
I certainly be happy to. So as I laid out the charges to you, they are specifically, just to get back to it, I want to make sure I title it right, but damage to property used for educational purposes, and then the willful or wanton disregard for the safety of persons or property. Those are the most serious charges. As for the hate graffiti, if you will, that was done at the school, the first thing I would say is you can assign so many negative adjectives to that. Offensive, deplorable, the last thing we ever want to see in our schools. It's disgusting. But there is not a crime we can charge for that. It does not, the NRS, Nevada Revised Statutes, does not provide criminal charges for that kind of act, at least in the way it was done. There are some exceptions there. But that is something that certainly will be considered at sentencing and will be considered by everybody standing up here when we decide how to move the case forward.
So will that be included in some of the filings on the students or the people who specifically did paint some of the hate speech?
So there is an indictment. We have copies of it. You guys will be able to get copies of it. That is now a public record. There is not specific allegations in the indictment of who did exactly what. It is, and that's not uncommon in the way cases are charged in the criminal justice system. But as I stated to you, I believe the transcript of the proceedings, will, unless sealed by the court, will be available in 10 days.
Okay.
And
So we
that
will
may
know
better.
who painted those symbols, likely in the indictment paperwork that comes out in 10 days.
I haven't read the transcript.
Okay.
I didn't sit in on the proceedings, and I can't talk about the proceedings.
You would, I'm just going to assume you would bring that topic up, should there be a trial, you would bring that up as part of your prosecutorial.
Yeah, I mean, the evidence is what it is, and fortunately, a great deal of it's on video. And so, you know, that's how, I don't want to be overly elementary here, but that's how we prove cases, is we put the evidence in front of a jury, if it comes to that, and, or in front of a judge at sentencing, and so that everything, all the facts and circumstances can be considered.
Could defense attorneys ask for that transcript to be shut down? Could they make the case in court?
They could certainly move to have them sealed.
Were any students not, or any people not indicted during the grand jury process yesterday?
I'm not allowed to really talk about the proceedings.
Is
But what I can say is we identified, as I went through the numbers, 27 individuals, and 8 of them were indicted yesterday. 12 of them are going to be cited over the next few days, and then there are 7 juvenile cases.
Are there any other cases outstanding where you may do charges later on besides these 27?
Not,
The district originally said 30, I think, had been identified. Are there more cases coming?
not at this time. I will say there are a few individuals who we were unable to identify, or who the investigation was not successful in identifying who they were. They were very thorough about it. Certainly, if more evidence comes forward, we would consider additional charges at that time.
Were any of the people who you just named, did any of them know? Are any of them know ahead of time, or are they just learning about their names now?
If you are in Nevada, if you're the subject of a criminal indictment in front of the grand jury, there is notice sent to you that you are a subject of a grand jury investigation. That's before the proceedings happen.
So that was just the 8 involved in the grand jury. Anyone who might be cited for trespassing, have they worked with the district, or people have come forward or talked to you about, hey, I might have been involved, or are some people just learning about it now?
I would be shocked if anybody said they were just learning about it now. But there's certainly, some of the numbers I highlighted at the beginning. The school district, police department did a great deal of interviews. There were multiple suspect interviews. And so those involved are aware of what's been going on. And those particularly who were indicted yesterday were sent notice.
And you want them to turn themselves in by 5 p.m., is that what I heard originally? Today by 5 p.m., or if they can't do it because they're out of town or something, over the weekend? And then if they don't do that, what happens then?
I'll paraphrase. You want to come up with something? We've talked this through, so I'm comfortable relaying what the message is from the district police department, and that is those individuals have till 5 o'clock today to contact school